Jason at Monkey Goose. I am talking to Eli from Octave Cat as they're about to hit the road for a spring tour tomorrow. Eli, thanks for giving me a few minutes of your time.
Yeah, hey, what's up, Jason? Thanks for having me.
So, how did Octave Cat get started?
It got started back in 2016 when my other band, Dopapod, was playing a festival with Lotus, and we had played a bunch of different things together over the years, and we were just hanging out backstage with Jesse from Lotus, and I forget exactly how it happened, but I was basically like, "Hey, we should hang out and try to make some stuff together." And we hung out and we made the first two songs that we did was on our first album, Limber Up and Spar. Just kind of came out of that first session very magically and effortlessly almost. And it was like pretty clear that we had something between us, collaboratively. And yeah, that was like 7 years ago now. So we've been a band for a minute now.
How does the band approach songs in the studio as far as composed sections of songs versus improvisational?
In the studio, we usually have set parts of the songs that are more open and other parts that are less open and more compositional. But then, live we usually like to have pretty long open improv parts of the show, including some parts that are just straight up improv. We usually work out in our set list like one or two moments that are just like a very simple bass line and on Jesse's modular rig, and we'll just use that as kind of like a jumping off point for improv. So we definitely lean towards more improv with our scene that we're in. It's just more fun to improvise.
Do you have any boundaries with Octave Cat songs to keep them distinct from your other projects, you and the other members of the band?
Um, I don't think so. Like one example of that is we recently have been playing this Simian mobile disco song called Aspic. We just recently posted a couple clips from that, and that was something that Lotus has played, and we've done it here and there with Octave Cat, but I feel like those boundaries and those limits or rules are kind of melting away a little bit. But we never really have done like any Dopapod songs with Octave Cat, and we've never done any Lotus songs. But maybe like covers that one of the bands plays, we might try with this band. It's just with the trio format, it can be sometimes it maybe doesn't work as well as what people are used to hearing from those bands. But I feel like the cool thing about Octave Cat is that one of the cool things is that Jesse with his laptop and the modular synth and all of his controllers and everything, it's a trio, but it sounds like much more than a trio at times because of the different layers that we can add in that can be used like in compositional ways, which can be really cool, because sometimes being in a trio, it's like it can be limiting, but also causes you to play in a different way because there's more space to fill than when you're in a band with four or more people. So it's just, yeah, every band, it can be like it might take a couple, like a show or two to like remember, like, oh yeah, this is how I can play in this band. Because playing with Dopapod, sometimes I need to leave more space because there's more people playing, So it's cool. It's cool to just to have different outlets and different environments and to learn different ways to make all of the different things work.
Do you have any favorite songs to play on stage?
I mean, it all depends on who I'm playing with and the situation, certain songs, like I'm trying to think, for this like pickup gigs where it's neat, easy music that people don't really need to rehearse. I love playing Grooves in the Heart. You know that song?
I do. I've
Yeah.
actually never. I don't think I've ever heard anyone cover that. So I might have to see if I
You
can.
might hear that. You might hear that at some point at Dome Fest. I think one of those trios might do that.
Is there a song on any of Octave Cat's albums that you think like best represents what you guys do?
I think on our newest album, I really think the two songs on there that I'm most proud of, the one is called Orange Incense, and that's actually not the best representation of like the majority of stuff we play. There's this other song on there called Vader, and that is closer to the majority of like a lot of our music is like housey, four on the floor, but it's very jazzy and very like electronic sounding. Um, I think that song Vader is pretty cool. And I think it kind of encapsulates a lot of what we do into one song. But Orange Incense, I think sonically is like the coolest recording that we've made. I just think it's like if you put that on for anyone, most people would be like, "Ooh, this is cool. What's that?" Like it's more of a chill vibe, but we added like really cool kind of sonic textures and sound effects. So it's just a very enjoyable sonic journey, I think.
Is there anything else that you feel like people should just know that are watching this?
I have this new DJ thing currently going just by Eli with two E's, Eeli, like electronic Eli, or it's like
Mhm.
eel, like electric eel, Eli. And it's my name, but it's also I grew up with a stutter, so it's like how I used to say my name, like Eli. Um, and I'm just kind of owning who I am and what who I am, like my DJ thing is Eli, and then this new trio is Winderman, Coleman, Kimmock. I'm just kind of owning who I am and putting myself out there in this new chapter of my life. Because if anyone doesn't know out there, Dopapod is on hiatus. So that was like my main project for the last 16 years. And we are not playing right now, which has been an interesting new chapter for me in a lot of ways. And another thing that isn't announced yet, but will be soon, is that we're playing two nights. Me and my trio, Winderman, Coleman, Kimmock, we're playing two nights of Fish After Parties in Philly. So it's a Tuesday and Wednesday. We're playing at Ardmore Music Hall both nights, and we have special guests both nights, and we're going to do a lot of improv after Fish. It's July 15th and 16th, I think. I could be wrong about those. It's Tuesday and Wednesday.
So thanks, Eli, for chatting with us for a few minutes. Octave Cat kicking off their tour in Harrisburg, and then hitting uh, all over the East. I'll be seeing you here in Charlotte next week. For everyone else that catches this, just keep up with Octave Cat on social media, and wherever you happen to be, make sure you see these guys.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All
everybody. All right, talk to you later.
right, see
Bye.
you.